the light in me, sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Amen. Now, before I begin, I just want to, a year ago, I walked into this sanctuary, not knowing what to expect, sat in the back, and as John said this morning, you can just feel the love and feel just the enthusiasm here. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making me feel welcomed. Every single Sunday I came, thank you for making me feel welcomed and loved. So without a doubt, it's truly an honor, and I'm truly grateful to be able to share a message with you all this morning. Yeah? So I was asked to talk about zeal and enthusiasm today. And, well, for those of you who are familiar, I see a lot of people looking really spiffy in their orange. So I went into my closet and looked for orange, not an ounce of orange. But I did find this little number. And I thought, what says zeal more than all this fluff? So, as I said, I moved to Florida a year ago. And one thing I noticed about here in Florida is there are a lot of mosquitoes. Yeah? And I also noticed that a lot of times when I was outdoors with others, they would be spraying, bug spray and trying to kill mosquitoes and ended up with all these bites everywhere. And I would always just be sitting there like, But a little thought, and I realized that it's probably because growing up in the Caribbean, my blood and my skin just became immune to the mosquitoes. So a little blessing there. But I know you're probably wondering, why is she talking about mosquitoes when she's supposed to be talking about zeal? So, bear with me. One of my favorite zeal stories is a story about a little baby mosquito. He was heading out for the first time to take his first flight. His mom was excited, he was excited, he went out there and he did his thing, and he came back home. And when he came back, his mom said, how was it? He said, oh, it was amazing. Everywhere I went, people kept applauding me. I was a little scared y'all wouldn't get that one, but okay. Now, I think this little baby mosquito, he understood the secret of life, yeah? He embodied zeal and enthusiasm, I think. He was able to choose to have a positive outlook, an enthusiastic perspective on a situation where maybe people were trying to kill him, but he saw it as them applauding him, yeah? So what can we learn from this little mosquito, this baby mosquito? Well, a very simple lesson, yeah? Life, or our consciousness, comes down to a matter of choice, yeah? We get to choose our perspective at all times, in all circumstances. In the Bible, Joshua 24:15 says, choose you yourself today whom you will serve, but for me and my body, we will serve the Lord. Yeah? So what exactly does it mean when we say we will serve the Lord, What does that mean metaphysically? Well, when we're serving the Lord, we're choosing to honor our own divinity. And not only our own divinity, but the divinity within others as well. Yeah? Because it's when we all can do that, yeah, that's how we make the world a better place for everyone. So, how do we live more enthusiastically? Well, thankfully, we don't have to recreate the wheel. Our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, he gave us 12 powers that we've been looking at these past Sundays. Yeah, we're almost to the end. But what did he have to say about zeal? Well, for this, I went to the Revealing Word. And this is what the Revealing Word says. Zeal is a power that generates interest and engages the creative energy of the universe. Zeal is the inner fire of the soul that urges man onward, regardless of what the intellectual mind of caution and conservation might have to say. Zeal is the mighty force that incites the winds, the tides, the storms. It urges the planet on its course, and it spurs the ant to greater exertion. In other words, zeal is the urge behind all things. And the word enthusiasm, that word enthusiasm, it comes from the Greek word entheos, and entheos means God within. So when we are truly enthusiastic, when we're expressing the divine presence within us, we are tuned in to the infinite potential that exists in every moment, and then we are aligned with the creative energy of the universe. Yeah? So, in other words, it's the recognition of God in every situation, in every person, that activates our zeal. Let me repeat. I feel like that warrants a little repeat, yeah? It's the recognition of God in every situation, not just some, every situation, and everyone that activates our zeal. I love children. As a matter of fact, before becoming a minister, I served as the Youth of Unity program director for several years. But the quality of children that I love the most, you know what that is? They have an innate calling for peace, for unity, for zeal. Yeah? They play together so well. Yeah? It's like an innate zeal. A child would meet someone for the first time, 1 minute, 5 minutes later, that's their best friend. You ever notice? Yeah? They have a special joy consciousness. When Jesus Christ walked the earth, he called that joy consciousness the kingdom of heaven. And what did he tell us about the kingdom of heaven? The only way to enter it is to become like little children. Yeah? So that joy, that zeal, that enthusiasm, it comes directly from their hearts. And we know our heart is our center of love. And have you ever noticed that when someone is genuinely enthusiastic, it's contagious? Yeah? That's because enthusiasm has a magnetic quality to it. Yeah? It draws in positive energy. It draws in solutions. It draws in opportunities. Yeah? Brene Brown, she says she talks to her kids about candle blower outers. Candle blower outers. Yeah? She says, she reminds us that we all have this flame within us. Yeah? Sometimes we call it God, sometimes we call it spirit, sometimes we refer to it as the divine, we may call it the soul. It's a light. Yeah? Whatever we call it, I think we can agree it's a light. Yeah? And sometimes that light shines really, really, really brightly, and sometimes, not so bright, right? But the thing is, even when it's not shining brightly, it never extinguishes. It's always there. Yeah? So she says that we want to surround ourselves with people who, when our light is shining brightly, they can recognize it in us, and they can say, wow, what a beautiful light. Yeah? And we also want to be the type of people, when we see someone's light is shining brightly, we say to them, man, you got a great light. Yeah? And I know we have several people here who are like that. Yeah? We want to surround ourselves with friends and people who protect our light. We don't want to surround ourselves with candle blower outers. You get me? Yeah? Yeah? We want to be around people who have room in their life for our light. Yeah? Because wherever we go, our light goes with us. Have you guys ever heard of Fillmorian Zeal? Get where I'm going with this, right? Yeah? Charles Fillmore, our Unity co-founder. Yeah? He lived with great zeal. In fact, at the ripe old age of 94, he famously said what? I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and bring forth with a mighty faith to do what is mine to do. But I don't think Charles Fillmore said it like that, because somehow I feel like you can't say the word sizzle without sizzling, right? Yeah? So let's repeat that one, and we're going to sizzle, and we're going to spring forth, with a mighty faith. So let's take that affirmation together. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do what is mine to do. Yeah? Imagine at 94 years old, Charles Fillmore was still full of vitality and passion and drive to live life fully. Wow. Yeah? That is the power of zeal. And it wasn't just in Charles Fillmore. That power is available to each and every one of us at every stage of our life. Yeah? So we just need to get our power of zeal charged up. Yeah? Charged up in us, and we need to direct that power of zeal with a little faith, with the power of faith, to accomplish what we need to do. Yeah? The great minister Eric Butterwood, an author, in his book, Discover the Power Within You, he said, but the greatest mistake is in believing that we are only human. Yeah? Yes, we are human in expression, but he went on to say, we are divine in creation. Yeah? We were created with divinity. And he added even more to that. He said, we are limitless in potentiality. Woo! So just imagine if you put a little zeal behind that limitless potentiality. Imagine what we can accomplish. Yeah? So just a few steps on how we can ignite that flame of zeal and enthusiasm within our own lives. Firstly, we align with our divine purpose. Zeal is most powerful when it's aligned with our divine purpose. We ask ourselves, what is mine to do in this situation? What is mine to say? What am I passionate about? Yeah? What activities make me feel most alive? What activities make me feel most aligned with spirit? Yeah? Because it's when we tap into our purpose, that's when zeal would naturally arise. Yeah? Zeal is Spirit's way of guiding us towards the fulfillment of our soul's potential. And another tool we can use to ignite our zeal, affirmations and visualizations. Yeah? I like to call them the butterfly effect. It's these little actions that have all these rippling effects that go out. Yeah? Because as we know, whatever we think, whatever we say, whatever we feel, whatever we do, it makes all the difference in the world. Yeah? The loving thoughts that we send out, they have the power to have a positive impact. Yeah? They have the power to affect events and ripple out to others. And it causes changes at a distance. We have to visualize ourselves living with passion, living with vitality, actively engaged in the work that brings us joy and fulfillment. And as we affirm and visualize, we're calling forth this energy into our daily experience. A song I use to help me get started many days when my zeal might not be where it needs to be is that song, I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Y'all know it? Y'all know it? Yeah? No? So, okay, I see some no's and I see some yeses. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Those of you who know it, sing with me. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Then you gotta do it a little faster, right? Right? So come on, join in when you can. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Who wants a challenge? You ready? We're going faster. We're going faster. Come on, choir. more time. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, enthusiastic. Well done. Yeah? And another tool we are to use is to banish the blues, what I call banish the blues. We let go of those limiting beliefs. You know, sometimes we feel disconnected from zeal because of our limiting beliefs, because of thoughts we might be holding, feelings we might be holding of doubt, of fear. Yeah? Sometimes we may think we're too old to do something, too young. We're not qualified enough to pursue our dreams. I know one of the challenges that I had to overcome when I started ministerial school was the feeling of, I'm too young. You know, I would be in a room with, everyone was, you know, older than I was, fully experienced through life, and I would always feel like, well, what am I going to contribute that, you know, to others? I have nothing to contribute. But then, through the process, and I'm still growing with that, I'm still learning, yeah? As Charles Fillmore demonstrated to us, zeal is not limited by age or circumstance, yeah? It's a spiritual power that transcends the physical. So we are to let go of any mental barriers that are holding us back and allow the divine energy within us to express fully. When we do that, the next thing we got to do is season it. You know, you put a little adobo when you want some flavor in the food, right? Well, we got to season it with a little faith. Yeah? We move forward in faith. You know, because zeal requires action. You know, it's all good to say, oh yeah, I feel inspired. But we must be willing to take the next step. Yeah? Even if it's a small one. Yeah? We have to trust that as we move forward, in faith, that Spirit will guide us, and the next step will be revealed. Then the next step, then the next step. See, sometimes we freeze because we don't know what's ahead. Yeah? And finally, we must rest. Rest in the flow of divine energy. See, because while zeal calls us to action, it's important that we must remember that it's not about pushing ourselves into exhaustion. Yeah? True zeal has to be balanced with spiritual wisdom. We can be enthusiastic as much as we want to about life, but we still need to honor our need for rest, our need for reflection, and our need for renewal. Yeah? When we rest in the flow of the divine energy, we allow ourselves to be guided by Spirit rather than be forced by willpower. Yeah? So, beloved, in closing, I just want to remind you that zeal and enthusiasm are not just fleeting emotions. They are divine powers that reside within us. Yeah? When we embrace these powers, we align ourselves with the creative energy of the universe. We become a channel for Spirit's work in the world. So whether it's in our personal life, our relationships, our work, our business, our spiritual practice, yeah? Zeal can fuel our growth and bring us forth to our highest potential. So may we all go forth this week, fairly sizzling. Remember the sizzle, yeah? With sizzle. With zeal and enthusiasm, just as Charles Fillmore envisioned. And may your life be a radiant expression of the divine energy that moves through us all. And so it is.